How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we've got another deck profile, and this time going over one of the last two decks we've got to go over, being the Blue Vegeta. Because what we've been trying to do is going over and providing a list for every single of the star decks and main set leaders, so have a base one to set up everybody with, so they have somewhere to start, and then once they've got used to it, had a trial with it, and played around with it, they can start amending it and tweaking it to their own playstyle. Remember, these are just like base lists I've created to get people to start off with, and you can amend them how you want. But then before we get into the video and go over the lead and your list, you can help us out with, because we're on our way to 1,000 subs, and we're still getting on there. We're getting really, really close, and you can help us out by liking the video if you like the content and you like the kind of like videos I drop. Also, comment down below if there's any question you have regarding like the list, like a card choices, suggestions, or anything like that. Drop them down below. And lastly, the best way you can help out is by subscribing. It keeps you updated with my videos as and when they drop, and by clicking the notification bell, you can get alerts when my videos drop there and then, or they'll be notified to when you can watch them at a later time. So with that out of the way, let's get to the video and check out Blue Vegeta. So, we're using Deck Planet being the best deck builder for any of the Dragon Ball Super card games in the game. Like, we've had this for Masters, we have it for Fusion World as well, and it's just a great interface and very easy to use. And even then, with like the content creator view, you can do things like this, like just get the leaders like zoomed up. So, Vegeta is basically the same on the front side as both Goku and Vegeta from the Star decks, and a majority of the most of the ones, most of the ones, because I remember there are crit leaders as well. Most of the leaders in the game where on the front side they just one attacking, draw a card, awaken when you're left to 4 or less, draw a card and flip over, and they start off with a base 15k. So very basic for the front side, but it's when the awaken side is when we get like differences and where like the preferences of leader come about, because they've got different skills and things like that. So for Vegeta, he is a 20k, so there's only one lead that's like more than that or like different to that, but it's just like the rest of them, like the majority of them being 20k lead. And then you still have the when attacking draw cards, you still gain advantage by swinging, that's like a really nice swing. But now you've got a new beneficial effect, being activate main once per turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this card gets 15k power for the turn. So that's amazing. That's really nice. Just a free 15k power. That's almost super combo level like power. Like just 5k off to like be aggressive with your push. I mean that you can just rather than swing for 20k, swing for 35k, which is nothing to scoff at. And all you need to do is have 7 or less cards in hand when you to use this effect. And even if you go above 7 or less, 7 or more cards when you attack anything like that, you don't lose the effect, because as soon as you activate, that's it. It's just on your lead for the end of the turn. Once the end of the turn comes, then it drops off. But even if your hand size changes to above 7, it won't drop off as long as there's nothing to do with that. You just use the effect once you've got 7 or less, gain the boost, and then you have that boost no matter if your hand size changes or not. So that's already a great start to the lead. It's a very good lead. Not the best, I would say. Trunks is more usability, but this could be very good as a very aggressive one, because just that free 15k is nothing to scoff at. So it just comes down to play styles. Like, some people have preferences on what characters they have, and that could be a main thing for blue. But that's the leader. Very, very easy, very basic, like with most of the leaders in the game, and a very nice way to put some good pressure for free, which is nice. So we got the list here. And always starting off, we start with Super Combo. Every deck should have 4 Super Combos, because Super Combo is a deck building keyword, where you can only have in your deck 4 cards that have the Super Combo keyword. And you might be thinking, like, what is the problem with it? It's a 7 cost, that's 15k power, and that's not much. Like, well, the main reason they're 7 cost and 15k is to like avoid help people avoid playing them, because it's not worth playing them. Like, you don't want to get 15k power for that amount of cost, and that's the primary way to stop new players from playing them out and keep them in hand to use them for a combo, because that's what they're mainly there for. Do like Super Combo is kind of in the keyword skill. They're a combo focus card, and a super one at that, because when you use it defensively on your opponent's turn, you get an extra 10k combo for using it from your hand. So whereas normal cards are either combo for 0, 5, or 10, this one can combo for 20k defensively, which could be very nice in using less cards that will combo some swings that you don't want to take. So you always want to include 4, so when building a deck, always put your 4 super combos in first, then start building with the rest of it, because you'll make it easier for when you come to the end, not having to cut some cards that you were trying to put in just to fit them back in at the end. Always put them in first, so we don't have to worry about them when it comes to the end of deck building when you start cleaning up the ratios. And for this one, it's just Videl. There's no preference. There's nothing really that gives you more of a benefit than using either Yajirobe from the set or Videl. It comes to which character you prefer or which kind of art you prefer, because you can get both of them just non-foil, and you can get Videl in a full art foil, and you can get Yajirobe in a pre-release. So it depends what you prefer. If you want to bling it out, you got whatever you prefer. But if you don't want to bling it out, just go with whatever you got four of, or even mix and match if you want to. And then getting onto the rest of the list, we've got our little one drop. So we normally go from after we've done super combo, we go on like the battle cards first and the extra cards, and we go up from power from lowest to highest. So we've got 4 copies of Mai because this is a very good SR. This is a super rare from the set, and this is the alt art as well. So all the SRs have an alt art, even the secret rares and the set one leaders. Unfortunately, be it Vegeta being a star deck lead, means he doesn't have a alt art lead, so that's kind of a shame. But we could have like more alt arts for it in the future, but like we don't, because it's only like just come out, and there's still a bright future for this game. But mine's really nice because it's one of the few, well, it's the only card that can allow you to take up to 2 life, because it's on players, add up to 2 cards when you left your hand. So it's a very good soft awakener, meaning that you don't have to get stuck at 6 life, or have to play 2 soft awakeners out just to get yourself down to 4. You can do this in just 1 card, and being a 1-drop means it's very cheap. And also has an extra bonus that goes with like the kind of identity of blue, being like bouncing things off board, and then the new thing in Fusion World being the mediocre hand size of 7 or less. But it's once per turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, when an opponent's battle card is returned to your hand by one of your skills, you draw a card. So it gets you that extra draw to keep up with your keep your hand size around that 7 card level. And if you've got multiple out on the board, they can trigger because they look to trigger at the time when something is bounced, not when they resolve. So if you have 2 on board, and then from the first one you draw 1, and you now got more than 7, the other one will still resolve because it looked at the point when you didn't have when you bounced the card, which was 7 or less, and then they both trigger. So we've got 4 copies of Mai because it's very handy when they awaken, even though it's a 5k combo. And then we've got 4 trunks, so that's our cantrip. Cantrip meaning a card that comes down and replaces itself when it drops down. And trunks, we normally refer to cantrips as like 1-drops that do it because they're just simple cards that are just early. It will just play out the draw energy, get energy because you get a plus off it because you're playing up the card, replacing your hand, so you haven't lost anything in hand, but you've now gained an extra 5k combo on board, the combo off offensively or defensively. So we normally have 4 copies of our cantrips in, and each colour has one, and lucky we get trunks in the starter deck. And then we've got 4 Pilaf. Pilaf is probably one of the most busted decks, and one I've seen most people complain about. Like, there's been some things to complain about because it's a Dragon Ball community, it's a card game community, so there's gonna be loads of things to complain about. People complain about like how Bandai run things, like it's a Bandai game, how there's stock issues, things like that. But one of the main issues that come down to people complaining about things regarding cards is Pilaf, mainly because of just how crazy it is with like loops and stuff. But then it's the reason one of the blue decks is kind of like viable because of its strategy, not its actual archetype, but its strategy. And we'll get to that another time when you come across the deck. But Pilaf is a very nice one because it's a 1-drop with 10k combo, which means that's a very good amount of combo. 10k combo is really good. 1 cost as well, and its on play is if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand. So once again, fitting with the blues theme, you can add up to 1 card with a cost of 1 or less, and Earthling its special trait from your drop to your hand. So if you would guess, Pilaf, he's a 1-drop. Pilaf is an Earthling. So Pilaf can grab a Pilaf, meaning you've got an infinite loop of just going Pilaf, grab Pilaf, swing, combo the Pilaf and board off, play another Pilaf, grab a Pilaf, just constantly do that. Meaning you can basically have a card like a low hand, be able to just use all your excess energy to just start swinging with your stuff and pumping a Pilaf into every swing for nothing, because you're not losing any cards, you're just using up energy that you might not have wanted to, might have not been able to use as effectively before. And it's just ridiculous. That's why we run 4 of this. And there's even, remember, because extra cards in this game also have traits, you can also grab extra because it doesn't specify a battle card, just a card. So it's potential that they're going to be an errata before we actually get the proper tournament season after set 2 drops, but we'll have to see if that actually happens or if not. So he's going to play 4 copies of this card because it's one of the most broken cards in the game at the moment, and a good reason why. Then we've also got 2 copies of Zamasu. So I do like this Zamasu because there are some pesky 1-drops, like said Pilaf here, and also mostly every deck, every color plays cantrips. They 1-drop cantrip, and every color has them. You can play 4 ofs. There are also some pesky one drops like Roshi, like as I said, Pilaf here. We got Roshi in red, that's a soft awakening you don't want red to have access to, or even some things like the Ginyu in yellow. And sometimes they're on board, sometimes they're hard to get access to, or just if you get rid of them, they just be grabbed back. Or like you don't really worry about if you can't really have access to touching them. There's very limited removal in the beginning of the game, and most of the time you want to use your removal and use it wisely. And Zamasu is just a nice one where it's just it's a one cost 10k, so it's 10k combo, which is very nice. So it can just combo for a very good combo. One energy is nothing, and it's on players where I feel like it's nice for 2 copies. You get to choose it's one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 1 or less, placed at the bottom of the deck. Now in this game where there's no shuffling, you have to actually draw through, like if you do any searches, you have to shuffle those cards put to the bottom of the deck. If you put something to the bottom of the deck, you're going to have a hard time finding it again because you have to draw through your entire deck or use a lot of searches to kind of like filter through your deck so you can see it again. So normally bottom decking something means it's gone for the game unless you get that far into the game. And so that's really handy, just getting rid of those one drops, bottom decking them so they're no longer like able to grab, because if you put something in the drop, you can potentially grab it back. Put something back in hand, you can play it back out again. So you normally want to just, bottom deck it is very, very nice. Next we have the 2-drops. So we start off with, from the 2-drops, we have Trunks Youth. So this is a really nice one from the starter deck. 2 cost 15k, so not too bad cost power. 10k combo as well, so like blue has quite a few good combo cards with 10k combo, which is very nice. And he's very good one because he's a soft awakener, being it's on play, and up to 1 card from your left to your hand, and also having a permanent to be more aggressive, while also like the fact that you don't really have a large hand size, or don't have to have a large hand size in blue, is mitigated by some of the effects. Like this one, permanent, your turn. If you have 7 or more cards, 7 or less cards in your hand, this guy gets 10k power. So during your turn, if you've got 7 or less cards in, it's 25k. And even if you like 8 cards, say, and you attack with it, just combo 1 card, you put that extra combo power on the card, and it jumps straight up into 25k straight away, the permanent being live. So we've got 4 copies of this because it's a very nice card to put some pressure for cheap, and also it's a very good combo as well. Then we've got 2 copies of Trunks Future here. So this is the one that I like, is a 2 cost 30k, so way more power than a standard skillless for its cost, which is very good. Also 10k combo, but it does have the negative of when it attacks at the end of the turn, you put to the bottom of your deck. But that's fine because we've got an extra card being a time machine that allows you to get it back from the bottom of the deck. So it's very nice to put like some cheap pressure early, and even if it goes off board, it means that way your opponent's forced to attack into something else because it won't be on the board for them to just free swing into it. So we've got 4 copies of this because at the very least it's a good 10k combo, as well as being like a nice big body for cheap. Then we've got 3 copies of Piccolo. Now this is one I really like, but then it kind of it's not, for the current meta, it's not there as amazing as I would like it to be. But it's a very good card because blue has a lot of good extra cards, very, very good extra cards, and this is a way to recycle them because it's a 3 cost 20k, so good power to at least threaten Awakened Leaders unless you're Piccolo, unless you're not Piccolo, sorry, Broly. Only 5k combo, but that negates for the fact that it's got a very good effect in on play. If you have 7 of your cards in your hand, add up to 1 extra from your drop to your hand, so you can grab any blue extra or any extra card from your drop. And it's not restricted to blue, so if we do get multicolored leaves at some point in the future, you can play this card and grab even different color extra cards as well. And it can grab anyone, and you've got all the good ones. You can grab that Garlic Gun, which is a very nice one, which is almost like a super combo from Masters, where it's a card that comes down and provides quite a bit of combo power, and also then replaces itself. And Garlic Gun is once really nice card. And you've even got the ones like Sinister Sickle and Final Flash, things like that, to grab back to make use of them. That's why we have 3 copies, because you don't have too many of them because they're quite high costing at 3 with low combo power, but they're very good to get you some of your good extra cards. Then we've got 3 copies of this Vegeta. So this is a 3 cost 25k, so better power to cost ratio, same level as a skillness. Only 5k combo, similar to Pickle, so it's where you start getting to lower combo power when you get to the higher cost cards. But it's got a very nice effect where at the end of your turn, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, you switch to card active mode, meaning you can attack into something and attack with it. If you've got 7 or fewer cards, end turn restand it so it can't be attacked into, so it's safer. And 25 power means it threatens any Awakened Leader, even Broly. So we have 3 copies of these because, once again, high costing and low combo power. But then if the situation needs, like more against Broly, you can have these down to keep swinging and have them so they can't be attacked into to give that bit of board protection, which is quite nice. Because remember, in this game, you can't attack into battle cards unless they're rested. They're in active mode, you can't swing into them. So then we've got two copies of this 4-drop Vegeta, so another Vegeta. Now this one's a little bit weaker than the previous one, but does cost a little bit more, so 4 costs 20k with 5k combo as well. But it's kind of worth it for its effect, because its effect is, when attacking, once per turn, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 1 or less, and place it at the bottom of his own deck, then switches card to active mode. Now with this effect, because of how it's worded, even if you don't bottom deck a 1-drop, because remember even then it's choose up to 1, you still get to restand, so even if you don't bottom deck any event, then you're still going to get switch back to active mode to attack again. So you're always going to get dual attack, so it's kind of dual attack without having dual attack, so maybe that's what Panda's going to do. They still have like double strike on skills, but dual attack, triple attack, they're not going to have that, but they're going to have cards that can just in effect that allows them to restand, which is quite nice. Saves a bit of text and a few keywords as well for a more simplified game. Now, this is really nice because just like with Zamasu, it's another way to bottom deck this pesky 1-drops, but this does it on a bigger body with a nicer effect, being able to attack twice. But then you've got differences then. You've got Zamasu for early game, get rid of those pesky 1-drops, while Vegeta being able to put some more pressure in, while also clearing them. And we only pay 2 copies of this because it's quite costly going through with not the best combo power for its cost, and not the greatest combo power, but it is a nice one to put some more pressure as later you get into the game. Then we've got our big boss card being our Vegeta. So this is our SR Vegeta. So this is from the starter deck. This is the double strike. Every color has one, and it's like the rest of them, being 35k, 5 cost, 0 combo power, same kind of stats as the other starter decks, apart from green, because green comes in the main deck anyway. And it's a double strike, and it has an effect. And blue's one is a lot better than, well, not as good as yellow, but a lot better than red's, which is on play. You choose a 20 opponent's battle cards, and it costs a 4 or less, and bottom deck it. So this is a nice way to just help manage board while putting some pressure on with a 35k double striker, and even then just put a helpful 5k on it means you can then pressure your opponent to use not just a super combo to out combo it, but also a 5k as well. So it's a really nice card, and the longer it stays on board, the more pressure you can get to it. And considering that blue can kind of like mitigate, like has quite a lot of combo power with loads of 10ks and stuff, I mean you can protect it quite easily. But your opponent might be able to remove it by effects a little bit easier, but the effect removal is quite limited to colors and decks and stuff. But we play 4 copies of this because it's a great way to finish off a game, especially since you can only have to do 8 damage to finish off opponent. Using this card to make it so you only have to do 7 attacks is a lot better than you have to do 8 attacks to do it. Now, it does have low combo power, but then you've still got a lot of these 10k combos and those recyclable cards to help with your hand, so the 0 cost combo is not really that big a deal in blue. Then we still on to the extra cards. So we don't have any Goku Blacks. I feel like Goku Black could be good, but then you can just put more pressure with more other things rather than have to use Goku Black, which then there's not many types we have in here. You have some, but then it adds to more 0 cost combos, and I still don't think Goku Black's the greatest thing outside of his deck, but that's just me. But so we've just gone on straight to the extra cards and just have that as the battle cards. So we've got 4 copies of Organic Gun. This is a very nice one because unlike some of the cantrips, not cantrips, the battle tricks we've seen, some of them are your opponent's turn, some are your turn. Organic Gun is like the ones that you get for every starter deck, which is just a free 1 energy 15k boost to a leader or battle card, but it has a better beneficial additional effect than the other ones, where the other ones like red minuses by 5k, yellow taps a 3 cost or less, and green adds an extra an extra 10k power to that card if you got 6 or more energy. Blue is simply if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 1. So with the other ones that you use them, and then you minus a card in hand to defend, so you've used up a card in hand. Gallic Gun doesn't, it basically just gets used for free 15k boost, and then you draw a card to replace it. So it's a nice way to keep your hand size going, so keep your hand size around, not like really deter it, but also just digging through your deck a bit quicker as well. So I've got 4 copies of this because I feel this is just a fantastic card, and it's something that I feel would be nice for every colour to have, but then it makes sense that blue has it to keep the hand size going, whereas the other ones just have to neg to use theirs. Then we've got 2 Final Hope Slash. I don't put too many of this because you sort of go through it. It's not your primarily concern. Like you don't want to really loop it too much for this, and it can also sometimes be dead, where you want to try and put some more pressure. But Final Hope Slash is quite a nice one, just be able to put some offensive pressure for a 20k onto a swing, and then allow you to bounce back at 2 costs or less, that you can either use on your opponent's cards or your cards. Back your Pilaf, a loop with Pilaf and Final Hope Slash, where Pilaf can grab Final Hope Slash, and Final Hope Slash can then bounce back Pilaf after hand, so you've got like a limited loop to use a 20k swing every turn. for just 2 energy. But this is a nice one that also like just manage board and just put some more pressure on. And I feel like what you could focus on, it's not a deck really you want to focus that on because you already get a big enough boost in your lead. You mainly want to chuck out things, and you can use this as a way to just finish when you go on an all-in swing with like a double strike that survived. Then we've got 2 copies of Time Machine. This is a nice one that you can just put with Future Trunks. This is the card that can get back Future Trunks when it goes to the bottom of your deck. Because it's activate main, look at the bottom card of your deck and play up to 1 Trunks Future card with 2 energy cost 2, and then place any remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. So you only really want to use this when you know you've got Trunks Future on the bottom. So after you've sacked with it and it's gone to bottom, once you know that's there because there's no shuffling or anything, as long as you don't bottom deck anything else, which you won't because there's no searchers in this deck, then you get to bring it back out and then for 1 energy and just swing and then recycle this with Pilaf to be able to keep bringing it back every turn, which is quite nice. And then use Final Hope Slash to get back Pilaf or things like that. Like if it was a nice combos, you can always cut these. Like Time Machine is just one of those ones, along with Future Trunks, you can cut like other more flexible spots you can like amend to if you want. Like I like it, but I know that not everybody does. And then we've got Final Flash as well. This is a nice way to get rid of some problem cards, being a 5 cost or less. And it does help deplete your hand, but where you could just like draw back up your hand and keep around a cost of 7 or less. It's quite nice, but you only have to worry about 7 or less cards in hand for this to get the cost reduction. But for the activate main, you still have to discard a card from your hand as the cost, and then choose any one of your opponent's battle cards with 5 costs or less and bottom deck it. Now, this can get a fair few things, but this is where blue struggles with any kind of like removal 6 or less. Oh, sorry, 6 or more. Whereas red's like yellow can tap anything down, red can pop anything like depending on the power of the card. Green can just probably just pop anything, but blue's removal is limited to 5 or less. Like you could use the Goku that allows it to bounce it back to hand, but as long as you bounce a 4 or cost less to your hand, but you still have to bounce back off your board a card that you spent energy in a turn playing just to bounce back on their cards so they can play it again, which is not the best. But Final Flash is a nice one just to deal with most threats, and we play 2 copies of it because you can recycle it with Piccolo. And then it brings us the last card, and a really nice one being Sinister Sickle. Now this helps you deal with the like go wide aggro decks or things like blue, anything that's really not green really. This is terrible compared to, for green, but against anything else like mirror blue or yellow or red, this is a very nice card because for 3 energy, being the cost of the card, you can use the activate main to choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less, and place it at the bottom of the deck in any order. Now this is very nice because for 3 energy, you're bottom decking up to 8 energy worth of cards, being 2, 4 or less, to then basically just get maximum value, getting like at least 5 energies, like more value to deal with something than they did spending on it. And this is nice because you could have spent 2 turns, like turns 3 and 4, playing things out, and you've just in 1 turn for 3 energy, like basically control the board. So it's nice when you get decks that go wide, like Ginyu and U7 Goku and stuff, just being able to clear the board while just smacking them back with Vegeta, like huge power, meaning you really have to worry about the board, or just continue just pushing face. And it's my list, so this is a 50 card list as well, because remember, there's no reason at the moment in the game to go above 50, because you want to keep to 50, you want to keep as low as possible, being 50 cards for consistency purposes, and to make sure you're basically finding what you want. Now this is the list. Remember, you can always change it up and amend it as well. You can just use this as a base list to try out blue, try out Vegeta in the first meta of the game. But then, yeah, feel free to amend it and take it how you like, and let me know what you change it to and what you access, so I can then maybe do an updated one in future once we've actually got product and we've actually started having events properly going ham. Because currently we have stock issues everywhere. I think actually everywhere, like literally. And while some tournament reports are coming out, like decks and stuff, remember not everybody has access to everything, because due to stock shortages and stuff, like people are having trouble getting even starter decks. But once we finally have those sorted, where people actually have the cards they want, have the decks, and actually start playing properly, they will have a more like look at what is actually doing the best and what is doing well in the game. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.